llama, 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 red pajamas, llama, llama. What's going on? Llama, llama, red pajamas, llama, llama. What's going on, everybody? This is Buckles Locker coming to you again. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Power C Bandits. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for joining. And make sure you like the channel. And make sure you like everything. Llama Llama, red pajamas. Llama Llama, red pajamas. Llama Llama. I'm rewatching this game, folks. As I'm talking to you guys and ladies right now, I am rewatching this game right now for the second time. Well, this will be the third time me watching the game because I watched it, last night, but I watched it 2 times in a row. And as I talk to y'all, I am watching the game. Folks, I'm gonna let y'all in right away. I'm gonna let y'all talk what y'all want to say, right? But let me just say a couple things before I let y'all go ahead and cook. Because I know some of y'all got a lot to say. I'm gonna say this. Last night's game was exactly what I was worried about. Everything about that game last night that I was concerned about with the Bucs showed up. Everything about this game was not. Now that I'm rewatching it with a clear mind, with not talking to y'all and just watching the game. Everything that I was concerned about with the Bucs showed up last night. And what I mean by that is quarterback play, OC, lack of running game, O-line not good enough, the trenches on the D-line not good, secondary with lapses, Todd Bowles, for whatever reason, has had some lapses, special teams, the return units, and the coverage units didn't do a great job. Everything about the Bucs that I was concerned about going into the season showed up. Everything that I talked about before this season started showed up this game. And I want y'all to circle this game because there is some concerns on my end with a game against teams like this. And there's about 5 more games like this against teams that are competent coaches, competent roster, competent D-line, competent O-line. There's going to be some problems, folks. Sometimes you can watch the game. And if you watch the game long enough, you can see some of the flaws of any team. Every team got flaws. But with the Bucs, they can't overcome their flaws. Y'all saw it last night. They can't overcome that. They're not good enough yet. As of right now, they can't overcome. They have to stay ahead of the chains, and the game needs to be close. If the game is out of hand or too far out of hand, the Bucs are going to struggle. I can tell y'all that right now. I don't see the Tom Brady comebacks out of the Bucs this year. If the Bucs are down like 23-6 in the fourth quarter, it's pretty much a wrap. And the reason why I say that is, and I might be jumping the gun, but just on how I look at football, and I'm just projecting. And it's a concern because the projection kind of mirrors what I saw last year. And that's a concern for me. And the reason why I say it's similar to last year, let me give y'all some team stats. And I know a lot of y'all was like, "Oh, the Bucs look different," and it looks better than Byron Leftwich offense and all that stuff. So I want y'all, for the folks that was saying that, let me give y'all the offensive stats. Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? Does these numbers match up with the eyes? Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? Does the numbers match up? So remember, a lot of people complain about Byron Leftwich offense, the lack of explosiveness, points per game, yada, 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 yada. Now, they conveniently leave out 2019, 20, 21 offenses when the offense was top 5 for 3 straight years. Conveniently leave those years for Byron. Like, you totally forget he's coached 2 5,000-yard passes, top 5 offense, throwing the ball and scoring points, and we seem to forget that because of 2022. We're just going to throw that out the window, and that doesn't matter. So people were saying Dave Canales is better than Byron Leftwich and all that, and I questioned people behind it. I was like, well, how is he better than Byron Leftwich when he's only coached 1, 2, 3 games in his entire career as an OC? So I still can't say he's better than Byron Leftwich because he hasn't done enough. But if you want to compare 2022 to what Canales is doing right now through 3 games, let me help y'all out. Because some of y'all just like to jump the gun and try to sound smart. But the Bucs offense, points per game, 19.3 points a game. Now, talked about Byron Leftwich when it's 18 points a game or 18.9 points a game. The Bucs offense is averaging 19 points a game through 3 games. Now, mind you, 2 of those games are against defenses that are not good. I want y'all to keep that in mind too. 2 of those games were against defenses not good. The Vikings defense is not good, and the Bears defense is terrible. And then we played a top-level defense. 19.3 points a game last year, 18.9 points a game for the season. So through 3 games, there is a 0.3. The Bucs are plus 0.3 points per game better. Now remember, Dave Canales is way better than Byron Leftwich, right? Right? I'm just saying. Dave Canales is way better than Byron Leftwich. Oh, I'm just getting started. 18.9 points a game last year. This year, 19.3. 0.3. Not even a point better than last year. So as of right now, it's the same thing. Points per game. Are we going to get to these other categories? Not much of a difference scoring the ball. Not much of a difference. And if you want to get really, if you really want to get detailed with the offense, as far as how can I say this? If you really want to get detailed about the Bucs offense and what they're scoring per game, just if you just look at the Bucs offense just by itself, right? Let me see if I can pull that stat up. I just want y'all to see it for what it is, and don't try to jump the gun and make it seem like the Bucs is so much better than last year. The hashtag, what did your eyes tell you? I can't find that stat, but it was like without that pick 6, the Bucs offense is averaging under 17 points a game. Yep. Without that pick 6, the Bucs are under 17 points a game. Just offensive scoring. Think about that, folks. I'm just giving y'all the truth. Just giving y'all the raw truth. And I know it hurts, but I don't see a big difference. The only difference between the Bucs offense this year, the major difference between this year and last year, the Bucs are running the ball 46%. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me make sure I get these numbers right. The percentage. Let me make sure I get this right. The Bucs are running the ball 46% of the time. It's a lot better than last year. That's the biggest difference from what I see. If just after 3 games, the biggest difference is the Bucs run the ball more. We just getting started, folks. I'm gonna let y'all in a second, but I just want to point these things out before y'all come in and y'all start telling y'all story about the Bucs. But I want y'all to see that. I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Remember, it's supposed to be a big difference. So right now, the Bucs are tied for 19th in the NFL in points per game. So if you look at the 32 teams, the Bucs are 13 positions away from 32. 19.3 points a game. Yards per game, 284 yards a game, 25th in the NFL. Yards per play, 4.7, 23rd in the NFL. It's just after 3 games. We got a long way to go, but I'm just giving y'all some numbers right now. Some cold, hard facts. Remember, Dave Canales is so much better than Byron Leftwich, right? 3 games into the season, y'all think he's so much better than Byron Leftwich. I don't agree with that. Third down conversion, 45%, which is 9th in the NFL, which is good. So that's another big difference between the Bucs offense this year and last year. They run the ball more as far as percentage wise, and they are better on third downs. Red zone, 37%, 37.5%. That's 30th in the NFL. TDs a game, 17th in the NFL. Rushing statistics. Rushing percentage of rush plays, 46%. That's 9th in the NFL. They run the ball top 10 as far as attempts, percentage of rushing plays per game. 9th in the NFL. That's pretty good, right? Rushing yards per play, 2.8 or per attempt. 2.8 yards per attempt, 32nd in the NFL in rushing yards per attempt. $28 rushes a game, that's 11th in the NFL. Rushing yards per game, 78, 27th in the NFL. Passing plays percentage, 53% of the time the Bucs pass the ball. That's 24th in the NFL. Completion percentage, 66%. That's 13th in the NFL. Passing yards per play, or passing yards per attempt, 6.7. That's 11th in the NFL. Passes per game, 31 passes per game. That's 24th in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 206, 20th in the NFL. Okay. Quarterback sack percentage, 3.13%. That's 6th in the NFL. Turnovers, the Bucs are plus 1.7, second in the NFL. Giveaways, they're 0.07, that's 6th in the NFL, which is good. They don't give away, they don't turn the ball over a lot. Takeaways, 2.3 per game, that's 4th in the NFL. Penalties, and this is another big difference between the Bucs. Right now, the Bucs, as far as penalties, are doing a great job of not getting penalties. They're 4th in the NFL in penalties per play. Penalties per game, 4.7. That's 3rd in the NFL. Penalty yards per game, they're 30 yards, 31 yards a game. That's 2nd in the NFL. Penalty yards, 6.6. Time of possession, they're 18th in the NFL in percentage. So you tell me, folks. You tell me. I mean, is the Bucs that much? Is it that much of a difference between last year and this year after 3 games? Because hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? O-line still bad. And what did I tell you about the interior? What did I tell y'all about the Bucs interior? You saw it this game on both sides of the ball. What did I tell y'all? O-line, D-line, the Bucs are they're not really good at that area. Secondary, meh. They have boneheaded plays. The secondary give up plays. They have lapses. The defense still good. Don't get me wrong, but they have these lapses. I don't know why. But to be real, the team looked like last year. The team looks like they looked last year. To keep it 100, strong defense with some lapses. D-line still in question. Secondary give up big plays here and there. They blitz. Not a lot of sacks. Not a lot of pressures. They got to get pressure blitzing. Offensively, not a lot of explosive plays from the run game or the passing game. Nobody's scared of the tight end. I mean, what more do you want from me? I'm giving y'all the cold hard facts. You ain't gotta like me. These are numbers, and the numbers match up to what the Bucs look like right now. Now, don't get me wrong, things can change, but as of right now, offensively, or matter of fact, as of right now, the Bucs look very similar to last year. They look very similar. The Bucs look. Those numbers show me. Those numbers match up with what my eyes tell me. It's not a big difference between the Bucs this year and last year. It's not a big difference, folks. I don't know. I mean, as far as like just looking at the team. Now, numbers wise, they're better in with the penalties. They're better in as far as running the ball, the percentage plays of running the ball. But this is a defensive led team with a rookie OC with a quarterback that's average at best, low ceiling. So what did y'all really expect? Did y'all really expect this just gonna be the Bucs are gonna be this tank just running over people, that's destroying people with a rookie OC? I gave y'all these warnings. I literally gave y'all these warnings. I literally did. And we saw it all in one game last night. We saw it. We saw some sprinkles in the Vikings game with some struggles against a terrible Vikings defense offensively. We saw some struggles in the Bears game against the terrible Bears defense. And then we play a top 10 defense, and the offense looked like, what the hell is this? So I just wanted to get that out the way. Enough of me talking. I just wanted to put some numbers out there, and does it match with what you see on the field? I'm just saying, I mean, 3 games into the season, we got a lot of game left. But as of right now, the Bucs don't look much different than last year, specifically offensively. They don't look completely different. It looks similar. It's just a different way of, they're doing things different in a way. They're a little bit more efficient, but as of right now, they just look the same. Now, we got 14 games left. Things can change. But I'm just saying, as of right now, before you guys start running your mouth about Dave Canales, as of right now, that's not a huge difference. Like, it's not a night and day. After 3 games, it's not a night and day difference. It's not like, whoa, the Bucs are so much more explosive. Oh, the Bucs they just run the ball so much more better. And no, they don't. They still can't run the ball. They struggle in the trenches, just like last year. The defense still good. The defense trying really hard, just like last year. It's not a huge difference, what I'm saying. Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? Does the numbers match up with your eyes? Don't get mad at me. I'm just giving y'all the football perspective. Once again, there's 14 games left. The season's not over with, but I'm just giving y'all a picture that y'all can, look at as far as what y'all see on TV in the first 3 games and the numbers. Because remember, they say the numbers don't tell the story, right? So when you look at the numbers and you look at what you see in the first 3 games, what does that tell you? As of right now. What does that tell you? The Bucs need to get better O-line, D-line, and we can't afford injuries. Remember I told y'all about the injuries? The Bucs are not deep enough to overcome the injuries. They're not that type of roster. The Bucs are top heavy and they need to stay healthy. That is a fact. Did you see the backup cornerbacks in there yesterday? Not good enough. We can't afford big injuries on the O-line, the D-line, the secondary. Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean, you can see already 3 games of the season, they already banged up. Devin White, he banged up. Vita, strained pectoral. Kalijah Clancy, strained calf. I think that's going to linger him all season long or half of the season. The Bucs can't the Bucs are not built to overcome those type of things. Special teams, the return units, like what's going on there? Keep Armstrong. It's not a night and day. It's not a 360 from last year to this year. It's not a 360, folks. We still got time, but as of right now, hashtag what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag possibility and probability. Probability over possibility. We're 2-1. I get that part. I'm just giving y'all the breakdown of the team so far. That's not the conversation. I know what the Bucs record is. I'm just giving y'all the conversation on film and the numbers and the injuries. The Bucs can't afford that. They're not good enough. They're good enough if we stay healthy. We'll be very competitive if the Bucs stay healthy. We'll win some games, don't get me wrong. But if the Bucs start getting these injuries, these nagging injuries, we're going to get beat. That's just what it is, because we're as far as our roster, I think we are a year away, maybe 2, but a year away from being a better roster. I mean, y'all didn't see that this last night? Do you see the gap between the Eagles and the Bucs? The Bucs got to keep drafting O-line and D-line. I just got to say that. Just watching the game, they got to just keep drafting O-line, D-line. It's no excuses behind that. You got to keep drafting that. No matter who the quarterback is, you got to keep drafting O-line, D-line. Until you get it right. And I was concerned about the Bucs depth because the Bucs roster is not built to overcome the injuries. They're not built to come back. They're not built like that. And we saw last night the depth. Vita was playing hurt. Devin White was playing hurt. So we had other guys in there, and they're just D. Delaney and Derek Pitts, Zion McCullough. It's just not enough. We're about a year away from being a way better team. I think we're a solid team, but we're not making major noise this year. And I don't. They need to play Trey Palmer more. I don't know why. I'm watching the game again. They need to play Trey Palmer more to add some explosiveness to the offense. Evan's going to have these games, these weird games. He does it all the time. He has these weird games that he drop balls, he unfocused, and he gets his attitude. Then he runs off, he throws the ball in the stands, he score touchdowns. Like, come on, man. I'm just giving y'all the reality of the situation. After 3 games, look, I get it with 2-1. I'm just giving y'all what you see on the film, in the games, and then the numbers kind of add up. So what we see right now with the Bucs is the wins between the wins with against the Bears and the Vikings. Kudos to the Bears. Kudos to the Bucs. But these are the games you want to see the Bucs be more competitive. Eagles, Bills, 49ers, Lions, Saints. You want to see the Bucs perform well because we already know the Bucs going to win games. We know this. But there are particular games you really want to see, like, okay, we can do something. Now, we do understand, or most of us understand, we're not going to the Super Bowl. Most of us understand that part. But we're still a pretty good team. Very competitive. But Bucs offensively, too many red flags right now. They need to put some speed on that field. I don't know what's up with the Trey Palmer and Raheem Jarrett, but those guys, you got to put them out there, man. You got to put them out there. The Bucs need some. Teams are not scared of the Bucs. The Eagles were not scared of the Bucs deep ball. They were squatting. The Eagles barely blitzed. They didn't need to blitz. Nobody, just like last year, nobody's scared of the Bucs offense. Nobody. And I hate to tell y'all this, nobody's scared of the Bucs offense. Definitely at tight end. You think teams are going to be scared of the Bucs tight ends? No. Where's Cade Otton? Let me help y'all out. I'm just gonna keep helping y'all out so y'all can see the bigger picture, because some of us kind of get caught up and you don't want to believe what you're seeing. Believe what you're seeing. Don't get mad about it, but believe what you're seeing, and the numbers match up. Mike Evans, 17 catches, 297 yards, 17 yards a catch, 3 touchdowns as long as 70 yards. Chris Godwin, 13 catches, 141 yards, 10 yards a catch, 19 targets. 13 catches out of 19 targets. Mike Evans got 17 catches out of 28 targets. Okay. Nobody else has over 10 catches. Cade Otton has 9 catches for 76 yards. 8.4 yards a catch. Devin Tompkins, 4 catches for 16 yards. Trey Palmer, 4 catches for 36 yards. I'm sorry. My bad. Rachaad White has 10 catches. Rachaad White has 10 catches for 64 yards. We're not scaring anybody, folks. Lack of explosiveness. We need to see Trey Palmer and Raheem Jarrett out there. We really do. We really need those guys out there. And we need to see a little bit more Sean Tucker too. The Bucs need an injection of making teams scared. The Bucs need guys that scare teams on defense. Exactly, Josh. We don't have no game records on offense. I mean, Mike Evans, great as he is, Chris Godwin, great as he is, they're not game records. Cade Otton is not a game record. Like, he's not a game changer. Rachaad White, not a game changer. Trey Palmer, Raheem Jarrett, and Sean Tucker, those guys are explosive, and they're young and they're hungry. And I think they need to play them more. I got a funny feeling, and I might be this might be too early, but would I be wrong for saying Sean Tucker gonna take over the starting job at some point? Am I wrong for saying Sean Tucker gonna start getting more carries? Remember that situation with Fournette and Rachaad White last year? Don't you see that situation happening at some point with Tucker and White? Don't you see that happen? Don't you see that kind of coming a little bit? Don't you see Sean Tucker starting to take more carries from and Rachaad White? He might get one more week, and I got a funny feeling that the Bucs gonna be like, all right, let's see what Sean Tucker can do. Because Rachaad White, man, like, look, man, good guy, man, but it's getting to the point where it's like, man, this ain't it. All these other running backs doing their thing. Running backs, rookie backs, second-year backs. And it's like, well, what's going on with Rachaad White? I get it. The O-line's not good, but man, we just need something a little bit more, like, we need more of a threat. But I got a funny feeling Sean Tucker gonna get some of them carries, man. Probably next week, next Sunday. I got a funny feeling. Got a funny feeling, folks. I might be too early saying this, but I think Sean Tucker gonna start getting carries start next week. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. I know King Cook. I mean, some people sold on it, but I wasn't. I was not sold on White being a number one running back. I said a great third down back, and for some strange reason, the Bucs don't want to use him as a third down back. I know King Cook. I am not on the Rachaad White RB1 train, and it could change. Don't get me wrong, it could change. But as of right now, from what I've seen last year and this year, I think he'll be a hellified third down back, and the Bucs don't want to use him on third downs. He could be much more better than Leonard Fournette on third downs. Oh, the Bucs' favorite run play is the dive. For whatever reason, they love running the dive play. Do they not trust the O-line on the edges? Do they not trust running plays on the edges? Well, how about give Rachaad White some screen passes? I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all, folks. Don't get mad at me. Rachaad White, 48 carries for 151 yards, 3.1 yards to carry. Remember that stat I was talking about? I think it was before the season started. That Rachaad White and his negative runs and his terrible runs between under 3 yards, it matches the tape. The numbers match the tape, and the advanced analytics matches yards. Was it yards per over expected? Terrible. Was it the YPOE? He's not good. Not good enough. Let me say that. He's not good enough. The YPOE, the ability to break tackles and stuff like that. He's not a good inside runner. And I don't even know why the Bucs keep using him as an interior runner. He doesn't see the holes well. No, we don't have no stretch plays, no zone plays on the outside, no RPO. Like, we don't have anything outside of a dive. Like, outside of a dive, why do the Bucs keep running dive plays? Your interior is one of the worst in the NFL. No offense to Cody Mulch, but your interior is one of the worst in the NFL, and you keep running the dive play. What happened to the Baker Mayfield scrambles? Because he was scrambling against the Bears and doing all this moxie stuff. What happened with all that? Could have ran for a first down, and he didn't. What was the moxie then? That's what I'm saying. You can't rely on moxie every week. Can't do that. And don't listen to the media, folks. Do not listen to these media heads to be Baker Mayfield's moxie. Stop listening to that. Stop listening to the moxie nonsense. 15 for 25. I don't care about your moxie. Produce. Make something happen. Run for the first down when you had a chance. Like, all this moxie stuff can only get you so far. And remember, as the season move along, more and more tape is going to be on David Canales and Baker Mayfield. I charted some plays in this game. When the ball came out of Baker Mayfield's hands, less than 2 seconds, the Bucs were successful. But the problem with that is, once again, it goes back to the long drives. It goes back to the long drives. It's like, 1-2, ball out. It's like 1.7 seconds, but that's limited. That means you're just trying to dink and dunk your way down the field, and you can't do that in today's NFL. You can't consistently dink and dunk your way down the field. It doesn't work like that. You can't be like, 1-2, back, hit on that third foot, on that last when you hit that drop, that third step, the ball out, 1.7 seconds. But in the NFL offense, if the Bucs had a lot of yak guys, like guys that can make plays, that'll make sense, because you get the ball out your hands in less than 2 seconds, and you let the guys get the yak. But the Bucs are not built like that. The Bucs are not built. They're not built for receivers to catch the ball and just make plays. So when I was watching the Baker Mayfield 1-2, ball out, the speed out, the Chris Godwin, that's a staple play. I see that already. But there were no bootlegs, no waggles, no rollouts. He just completely, he had I think two plays like that. But Dave Canales didn't trust those plays. So you literally cut some of your playbook out last night because he was big on the waggles and the bootlegs and the rollouts. He literally cut those plays out the playbook because he didn't have any confidence in running those waggles, bootlegs, and rollouts. He ran like 2 of them, maybe 3 at best. So explain to me. Explain this to me, folks. Why did he cut those plays out? Why? Why did he cut those plays out? I mean, was the Eagles defense taking away those? I mean, because you got to think, taking those bootlegs and waggles and and rollouts out. That's a part of Baker Mayfield's game, outside the pocket. So that means if you take out the waggles, bootlegs, and rollouts, that means you limit your offense even more for Baker Mayfield. This is what I'm saying. This is the dangerous part about Baker Mayfield. You have to scheme him like some good plays. You can't just say, okay, Baker Mayfield drop back 35 times and make. He's not that type of quarterback. So you got to have him bootleg and waggle and roll out. So when you take that away from Baker Mayfield, you see the Bucs offense. And I don't like the play, but if you need that for Baker Mayfield to be successful, then okay, keep running it. But if you take that out of Baker Mayfield's arsenal and make Baker Mayfield a pocket quarterback, he's already 6 foot, so that's physically he's already below average. Limited athleticism. Yeah, he scrambles around with the moxie runs and all that. Get big, get your weight up, little boy, and all that. He got those moxie runs, those rugged, tough runs. But when it comes down to being in that pocket, he looks so uncomfortable. Looks so uncomfortable. Did you watch the game last night? In that pocket, he was like fidgety. Giggity, 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 giggity. He was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I can't roll out. I got to stay in the pocket to make a throw. He's too inconsistent to stay in the pocket to make throws all game long. It's just what it is, folks. I'm sitting there. I done watched the game 3 times now, folks. In the pocket, he's too jittery. So I understand why Dave Canales had those bootlegs, those waggles, those rollouts. But in that pocket, he was giggity, 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 giggity. What do I do? If it's not a 1-2 or 1-2-3 throw, he don't know what to do. He's like, oh, I gotta read the defense. Oh, I'm 6 foot. I can't really see. So let me just find a lane to throw, and it doesn't work. The Eagles was not having that. You can see it last night. It was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? He was just jittery. Like he just didn't know what to do in the pocket. Like I gotta roll out so I can see. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the game. Go chart all those throws in the pocket yourself. I watched the game 3 times. In the pocket, he's like, yeah, he had some throws, but it was 1-2, ball out. 1-2-3, ball out. No 5, no 7 step. When every time he did that, he was like, oh, what do I do? He doesn't handle pressure well at all. I'm talking about not even a little bit. Remember, I'm gonna talk good about the Bucs. I'm gonna talk bad about the Bucs, and I'm gonna talk ugly about them. I'm gonna talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. He does not handle pressure well at all. Especially like, I'm not talking about the Baker Mayfield that avoids sacks and runs around. I'm talking about just being in the pocket and avoiding pressure, and not avoiding pressure, but handling pressure well. You literally saw it last night. He just was just like, oh, what do I do? I stand in the pocket, handle the pressure, throw the ball. He becomes a completely different player in the pocket with pressure. Because remember, red zone, 3rd down, under pressure against the blitz. That's where you want your quarterbacks to excel. He didn't do that last night. Everything is not going to be perfect. Remember, if everything got to be perfect for Baker Mayfield, the Bucs offense is in major trouble. I'm going to repeat that. If you need everything for Baker Mayfield to be perfect, the Bucs are in trouble offensively. As the season progresses, more and more tape will get on what the Bucs like to do. Those speed outs are going to get pick-sixed. Y'all saw the Godwin speed outs? I don't like those plays consistently. I'm telling you, I don't know how Canales is going to do this, but I know y'all was like, oh, Geno Smith and all that. I told y'all, Geno Smith is 6'3". Better. It doesn't translate to Baker Mayfield. This is not degrees of separation here. Well, he coached Geno Smith, and Geno Smith looks fine to me. The Seahawks 2-1. Geno Smith looked fine. Yeah, he had that little weird game at the first game of the season, but Shane Waldron is really like that as an OC. But see, I love bringing this part up because people literally tried to discredit Shane Waldron like he didn't matter and thought it was all about Canales. Shane Waldron is really like that. He's really a really good OC. So 2 games in a row, Geno Smith looks fine to me. Keeping it 100 with y'all. But when I was watching that game last night with Baker Mayfield, I'm like, that's not Geno Smith. That's not Geno Smith, man. And you want Baker Mayfield to play close enough to that in this type of offense. If y'all saying it's the same type of offense, it's better and all this and all that. Well, you want Baker Mayfield to look like that, and he just don't. And go back and watch the film. In that pocket, he was, what do I do? What do I do? Sometimes you can't use your moxie to make plays. Sometimes you just got to make plays from the pocket. Sometimes you're not going to be able to scramble around and get away from sacks like he did against the Bears. Sometimes it just don't happen like that. Sometimes you just got to get back there and stand tall and throw the ball. So you mean to tell me if things got to be perfect for Baker Mayfield, that means he got to have throwing lanes. That means not lanes that he can see over. I'm talking about lanes that he can see through. That's a problem, folks. Baker Mayfield is 6 foot. He cannot see over those big guys, so he needs throwing lanes, like wide open throwing lanes. Any stuff in his face, we in trouble. Especially if teams just say, you know what, Baker Mayfield, we're gonna keep you in the pocket. That means, oh, let me guess, every pass play gonna be from the shotgun. That means you become more predictable, and your tendencies show even more. So I just wanted to put that out there for the first 40 minutes. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I done enough talking. I just wanted to give y'all a picture of what y'all see in addition to the numbers. So let me put the link in the chat and I'm gonna let y'all talk because that's enough for me, man. I'm done talking. It's a wrap. I'm done talking. It's just I really wanted the Bucs to look better offensively this game. Even if they lost the game, I just wanted them to look good, and they just didn't. Everything I'm concerned about with the Bucs going into the season showed up against that type of defense or a competent roster, competent coach, competent defense. Well, every team that we play like that will have me worried. Oh, by the way, I'm watching the Colts. I forgot Gus Bradley is the DC, and we got the Colts on the schedule. I don't think that game might be as easy as I thought it might be. Just saying. The Colts, for whatever reason, I don't know, Lamar Jackson, who's better than Baker Mayfield, they had him frustrated the whole game. And I'm like, wait a minute, who's the DC? Gus Bradley. Remember, I'm watching every team on our schedule play. I'm trying to track their tendencies and what do they like to do, who's their DC, what's their scheme. And the Colts played Lamar Jackson pretty good. And we can clearly say that Baker Mayfield's not Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying. The Colts played them tough, man, and they beat them. And nobody expected that from the Colts. We thought the Colts were going to be 0-3. Shane Steichen and Gus Bradley. That combination is interesting. And they won the game with Gardner Minshew. So I'm keeping my eye on that. For whatever reason, the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans game, I'm circling those 3 games because I got those as games that we win. But I got my eye on those 3 teams, and I'm watching how they play. I really am. The link is in the chat room. If you want to voice your concerns about the game that you saw yesterday, how much stock did you put in this game? Did you really care about the Bucs playing well, or you didn't really care about the game? Yeah, I saw that, Damien. I know. I'm just saying the Colts played them well. I mean, shout out to the Colts. Gus Bradley, wow. Darius Leonard, he's back. DeForest Buckner. I mean, they got some guys, man. They can rush the passer too. They can rush the passer. I didn't know the Colts can rush the passer too, man. Didn't even realize that. They was getting back there too. I'm charting all these teams, folks. I'm really like that. I watch football for real, for real. I'm watching the Colts and Ravens game right now. I'm trying to scout early. When we play these teams, I'm trying to scout early. Who's doing what on their team? Anyway, if you want to voice your opinion, you can come in the locker room and I guess explain. You can explain what happens with the Bucs and justify the loss and try to make it seem like it's not that bad. And I don't know how you're gonna spin it. I don't know. You have the opportunity to do it. Corey Richardson, $5 super chat. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. So voice your opinion. Try to spin it to a positive, however you can, but it didn't look good last night.
Yeah,
What's
I
going
can't
on?
disagree. I I can't disagree with what you're saying about it not looking. I mean, football, it's not tennis, right? It's not water polo. It's probably one of the most physical sports you can play. You cannot be a professional football team and get out physicaled. It just it just can't happen. Um, it can happen. Sometimes players are going to win, right? The other team is going to win some reps. Your team's going to. We didn't win any reps last night. And granted, I know Vita Vea came in with a pectoral injury, and it looked like it. Like I've never seen him get pushed around like
Jason
that.
Kelsey, I watched the game 3 times in a row just before I got on here. Jason Kelsey, he was just dancing around Vita like it wasn't nothing, bro.
I mean, Kelsey looked like he was 25.
I was like, what? Jason Kelsey? Like, what's going on here?
Right, and I have to say that Vita, because I've never seen it. I've never seen it happen to Vita like that.
No impact. No
But no
impact in the
impact.
game.
And I've never seen it. And it was like, Kalijah, Kalijah wouldn't have made it that much of a difference last night. We have to get tougher as a team. Devin White was compromised because that's a pick six. That's a pick six.
Yep.
He
You saw he was running.
yeah, he ran. He ran straight out of bounds. He wasn't even trying to. But to Rashad White, man, I see what you're saying about him being a third down back. I see it. It's becoming more and more evident. And he can be like you said, he could be a really good third down back, like 50 catches, 500 to 600 yards rushing.
I'm telling you,
Like he
man.
could be a Pro Bowl receiving back. He could. I see it, man. He's 6'2". I just think last night, man, it's like the coaching staff didn't believe that we could win that game the way they coached. It was really weird. Now defensively, I thought we played well in spots. But when the Eagles was like, all right, let's just run the ball, they treated us like they treated Minnesota a couple weeks
Remember
ago.
that Ravens game last year? That's how it looked.
Bro, I was like, dog, 9 minutes and 22 seconds,
Insane. Insane.
and they weren't even trying to score. They was just trying to keep the ball, and we let them keep the ball for 9 minutes and 22 seconds.
Insane,
That
man.
that show that drive right there. I don't care about any other parts of the game. Any other parts of the game, that drive showed me that okay, they were just that much better than us. I'm
The
just
gap
looking.
is so big, man. The gap
Yeah,
is so big.
yeah. I mean, and I thought we played well in stretches in that game defensively. I thought Mike Evans kind of slurred our momentum with a couple of his drops. All three of his drops were big drops, and I thought Chris Godwin, we have got to get him into the game plan more, and Baker Mayfield on that interception, he just has to. He has to do a Drew Brees, right? If Drew Brees is looking to the left that long, he's at least going to pump fake with do the little shoulder fake to hold the safety any longer. I would expect Kyle Trask to throw that interception, to be honest. Not, Baker Mayfield's a playoff win, 6-7 years in the league. He holds the safety appropriately, but he doesn't keep him there. He holds him, then he goes and he turns immediately to Chris Godwin. And I'm like, that was such a second year quarterback mistake. You know what I mean? Like it was just like weird. And we got to figure out something with Ryan Neal. I don't quite know what he's good at yet. I thought his athleticism was going to land him being really good in the deep third. It's not. I thought he'd be able to match up against certain tight ends. He gave up a big slant when that's clearly the only route they can throw because Jalen Hurts. I mean, he was really erratic with the ball last night. And
Mm-hmm.
I just need Ryan Neal. I don't know what he's good at yet. And I understand Pro Football Focus had him rated at a certain spot.
Number one.
Number one, right? Okay, I didn't want to say that and be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read too, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, number one. Like, I don't see anything instinctual. And I get it, he's coming to Todd Bowles' system, but I feel like Todd Bowles is using him the way Seattle used him. So I don't.
He's
I just
he's
I
more of a he's more of a tackler than a cover guy.
right.
I
Yeah.
don't think they're using him well. Right. I really
No,
don't.
number no. The
I
Seattle
mean, he looked
Seattle
like Mark
defense.
Barron in coverage.
Seattle defense is a lot different from the Bucks.
Yeah, that's what it has to be, a new different scheme, but Todd Bowles is a really good defensive coach. I thought Philly struggled a lot offensively last night until
And
they
they
just
still
said,
waxed us.
let's just run
Until
the ball.
until fatigue set in. I mean,
Until they
when
said,
your
let's just run
defense
the
is on the
ball.
field for so long, bro, it
Yeah,
just it's
yeah.
just hard. When you really look back at that game, you'd be like, dang, when did the Bucks really have the ball?
A
It don't
sustained
really
drive.
feel like
Yeah,
that.
when they had a
Outside of
sustained
that
drive,
first drive that Mike had dropped in the end zone,
and then the
it
3-3
really seemed
drive.
like they didn't have the ball much after that.
No, like we went 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Turnover, had back-to-back
They had the ball
You
turnovers.
22
can't
minutes.
keep putting that on
They
the
had the ball.
defense,
They
man.
had the ball 22 minutes.
You cannot keep putting that much pressure on your defense,
And that
especially
makes
when
sense.
they already banged up.
But but
And
but,
I'm just gonna say it, man. I'm just gonna say it like I said it last year, man.
right.
Quit drafting these guys from these small schools and putting them in the trenches, thinking you're gonna find you another Ali
Ali
Marpet.
Marpet. They ain't gonna find
That
another
ain't
Marpet.
happening, man. That happens every blue moon. Bucko, when I ask you to read off to where we got our linemen from, that stuff sound like one of them Jordan and Peele's you know when they do the football thing, such and
Yeah.
such, such and such. I'm from. Come on,
Mount
man.
Union.
I mean,
Trevanion.
really. I looked at what the only thing I thought about that game last night. I was looking at our draft picks and looking at their draft picks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I kept comparing it to. I was like, they drafted from Georgia, we drafted from South Dakota, Houston, Central Michigan. Man, knock that off.
I'm trying not to laugh, man, but I need to laugh because that was funny. He
It's
said,
the
man,
truth, though.
stop
Tiberius.
I
drafting
look
from
at
these
teams
small.
every time I look at it. I see a player flash. I'll be like, "Oh, okay, where he from? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, he's from LSU. Oh, he's from Bama. Oh, Florida State. Oh, okay. Oh, all right."
One,
And
and
you look at our team, you'd be like, "We got a bunch of what did I call them today? I call them a bunch of New Orleans Saints, a bunch of who that's. Who are they? Who is
so
that? Where did he come from?"
Bucko said put a positive spin on. I'm gonna be honest with you. For where the Eagles are and for where we are, I thought we held our own. Mike Evans, Mike Evans catches that touchdown and converts a couple of those plays. I don't think we win because I think Philly was a better team, even though
I think it's a different game.
I
You're
think it's
right.
a different game. But I picked Tampa to win, right? I did because I just felt like Philly's strength is running the ball, and I thought our run defense, which was ranked second, by the way,
Yeah.
I thought our run defense would hold up a little bit better. I kind of underestimated the injuries that we had with Vita and Devin White, and
Oh, yeah. Once you saw that last report, you was kind of like,
yeah, they got pushed around, man, and they
they
favored them.
got bullied on
They
both
favored
sides of the
their injuries,
line.
which is fine. And then we start having injuries on the back end. But the reason why I do
Mm-hmm.
have optimism is because our defensive staff can coach. D. Delaney looks like an NFL player. I mean, that's all I can say. Zion McCullum in his second year looks like, let's be honest, he was mostly matched up against Devontae. Devontae had 4 for 28. I
Yeah,
mean,
he was locking him
I
up.
mean, I can't really.
No. I watched this game 3 times.
Okay.
When he was playing Brown was eating him up. He was
They
playing
had
like 10 yards off of him.
they had a safety helping Zion out for most of the part. That's why you didn't see Winfield Jr. near the line of scrimmage a lot.
Yeah, he was helping out over the top.
Protecting him.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Well, like you said, you watched it 3 times more than I did, so you clearly.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, well, here's my thing.
Here's my thing. Watching the game 3 times. Every time I watched it, I saw something different.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Here's my thing. Why didn't I would have thought they would have just let Zion. He's the fast. Even the announcer even said it, he's the fastest guy on the field. He's the fastest guy on the field. Let him play Devontae 1-on-1.
Yeah,
Put
I think Devontae's route running is
Brown
too
and keep
good.
the safety up over him.
Well, well, well,
I
Brown never
didn't
really
get
beat
that.
us.
It was like they literally
What I
cut
want to see us
everything in
do,
half.
right? What I want to see us do, these mobile quarterbacks. I wanted to see Jalen Hurts be extremely accurate and beat us from the pocket. Meaning, I'm cool if we lose a game and Jalen Hurts is really accurate throwing the ball versus tight man coverage. I'm fine losing that game. What I can't deal with is him not being accurate, which he was not all night. Even the interception he threw it behind the receiver because he thought he was going to go outside for some reason instead of being patient. But he had pressure coming up and he threw that pick to Devin White. Then he threw another interception. These mobile quarterbacks that can run, do all these things, I want to see them throw precision Drew Brees type passes. And I just feel like we didn't challenge the receivers enough to actually let me see their route running. Let me see their
They
connectivity
they
because
didn't they didn't have faith in them backups,
yeah.
and I don't blame them. You can't when you
Dean
down
and
both of your
Zion started
corners,
the
man.
game,
You
man.
when Pitts is in the game, I'm like, oh Lord, come on now. He is not ready for the runner up for the Super Bowl. He was
Yeah.
not ready for that.
But
He
like Bucko said, be a little bit more be a little bit, I want to today I do want to be a little bit positive. I thought we left some plays out there that could have changed the game. I thought we
that's
got,
but good
and then it
teams
resulted
make
in us
good
getting beat
plays.
down. Yeah, it
Good
resulted in us
teams
getting beat
make good
down.
plays.
But Buckos, you gotta help me calm down about this safety call, bro. Like it's been tearing me the fudge up.
Oh, when that happened, man, I literally was like, they giving up. They gave
Bro,
up.
I don't even understand the mechanics behind calling the play. And I put on Twitter, I said we're playing a better defense next week, and a lot of people got on me about that. But here's the thing: we can't run on anybody, so that's already out the. We for doggone sure can't pass on the Saints. We haven't been able to do that in 3 years.
Okay,
So,
when it comes to the running game, riddle me this. Why are we running the ball up the middle and towards Luke Gedeke and Cody Mott instead of running it behind an all-pro tackle? I don't get that.
very
What?
athletic tackle. Like why we don't do off tackle runs? Like we don't do any off tackle runs. We try to run
It's
the dive. The
just
dive is the
ridiculous,
best run play
man.
we got. It's but
Canales looked like he was out of his league last night, though.
yeah,
I don't think he drew up
I
a good
agree.
game plan at all.
I agree. I agree. He did, but we're 2-1. A lot of people had us 1-2 at this point. A lot of people had us 0-3 because people thought
I
Chicago was
actually
good.
I had us 3-1 going into the bye.
Okay,
So
all right.
I'm still on pace. I feel like Bucko. I wanted to see what we look like against a
Philly,
bona
I did.
fide
Yeah,
NFL team.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't care if we won or not. If we
Right,
would have looked good,
right.
I would have been like, okay, there
And
we
that's the
got something
part that
here.
upsets me is the fact that we left things to be desired. If we just go get blown out, I'm like, you know what?
That felt like a blowout though.
Like when
It
we
did.
played. I'm saying like when we played Kansas City week 3, we was like, oh, okay, this is the team we are this season.
If you look at the stats wise,
It
we
was a
did get
blowout.
blown out.
Yeah,
We
yeah, but
got
it was
blew
like,
out.
but the injuries started happening on defense, so we went to like a bend don't break type defense, and like you said, the fatigue set in. But we left plays out there. Dean had an interception on the same touchdown drive that they had. The only touchdown pass to Zacchaeus. Dean had an interception and he dropped it.
The
He
Eagles beat
dropped
us
it.
in all three
What's
phases.
new?
They clearly beat us
What's
in all three
new?
phases.
Yeah, yeah. They were the better team. Please don't get me wrong. Even if we make some of those plays, the better team usually wins, right? But they left plays on the field that could have made the game. I'm not considering the outcome being different because, like I said, that 9-minute and 22-second drive in the fourth quarter showed me that we didn't have a chance. Just to be honest, it showed me that they were just better than us, which is fine at this point in juncture where they are and where we are. It's fine, but like you said,
If
I
the
wanted to
game
see
would
a
have
little bit
been
more.
like if the game would have been like when it was 3-3, I was like, okay, if we lose a game 21-14 or 13,
Right.
Okay, I'm
Right.
fine with that. But the offense is so inept that they can't even stay on. They can't even give the defense a break. They're going through the exact same thing as
3 and
last
out.
year.
Yep. 3 and outs. 3 and outs. And then another thing is, like you said with Canales, we missed that throw to Devin Tompkins that would have been a touchdown on that crosser in the first drive. But I'm like, what we got Trey Palmer for?
That's
Like,
what I said.
he's
At
6'1".
halftime, I
That's
got
a
on.
much
I got
easier
on
throw. That's a much easier throw to a 6'1", 4'3" receiver. And
catch
Trey Palmer
radius is
runs the
way bigger. The guy.
and his radius is bigger. We threw to the 5'7" dude on a crosser who just came off a kick return. Like, I
Bro,
just
the man been making big catches all summer long, and you ain't got nothing drawn up for your new weapon.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he runs a legit 4'3". Like, he was the fastest
Legit,
receiver in this
the
draft.
guy is legit fast.
Legit fast. And we drew up a play. My thing is, we drew up a play to get the ball to a fast player. But we did it to the 5'7" fast player instead of the 6-foot fast player. Hey, I don't want to hold up the whole chat, man. I see the locker room getting good and crowded. I
No,
can
you
go
good.
on about this, but
Yeah,
hey,
we
No,
go
you
Saints.
good.
you good.
Man, I mean, I said go Saints. God, dog, I can't believe I said that. I mean, go Bucs versus the Saints. I really think we could pull this game out. I think it's gonna be
Oh
a
yeah,
defensive game. I think it's gonna be a defensive
It's the
game.
Bucks. The Bucks. I don't know if you was here for when I was giving the stats out. When I was kind of trying to match up the stats and what did your eyes tell you? Hashtag what did your eyes tell you? Does the stats match up with what you see on TV
with the Bucks.
as of right now? Yeah.
To
What do
me,
you
it
what do
do
you mean?
because I don't really think we. I'm not saying. I'm not thinking. Even the 2 games we won, the offense ain't looking good to me.
Yeah, I think the stats
It just
do.
look like okay,
Yeah,
all
I think
right.
the stats match because I don't want to say they're protecting Baker Mayfield from himself, but it's almost as if they're coaching as if I'm just gonna be honest. They're coaching as if we got Jameis, to where Jameis, if you can
We
get him to
do.
throw 25 to 27 passes, you might be fine. But as
We
soon as you
do.
hit that
We do
30
got
mark,
Jameis.
when you hit that 30 mark, you got to protect Jameis from himself.
Who's
And I
throwing
feel
the
like that's what we were
who's
doing.
the 2 quarterbacks that throwing the most?
James, yeah, Baker, yep, Baker and Jameis. And
Thank you.
I feel like
But I'm to
schematically,
the point now. I'm like, when I
right.
saw that game last night, bro, I'm like, he was gun shy. He was like he
Yeah,
was scared to make a
like
mistake.
he was scared. Yeah, yeah,
Is Baker really the second most interceptions?
yeah. Him and
Yeah,
2017.
James. Yeah,
him and James, they lead. They since they've been in the league, they didn't let the league in
yeah.
turnovers.
That
There's two.
5 year thing. Yeah.
So there was two stats that I saw. Since 2017, Josh Allen is number one. Baker's number 4, I think, in turnovers since 2017.
Okay.
So we have a quarterback. Now remember, we gave Winston a lot of flack behind the turnovers, right? And we literally
Yeah.
got a quarterback that's top 5 in that.
Right. And that's
So
half Jameis's size.
and the problem is James is more productive. That's a fact.
Yeah, I want to see production, man. I don't think Baker is seeing the field. He's not. He's missing wide open wide receivers.
That interception was pretty much indicative of that. Like, because
That,
Godwin was
that
all
was so
open. I
late.
get it.
It
You
was
want to throw
there,
it
but
safe.
it was there 3 seconds ago.
And remember that touchdown that Mike Evans dropped, quote unquote, it's kind of both ways, but that throw wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. It
No, it wasn't, but it was catchable. But
Yeah,
it was
put
catchable.
his hands out
the throw should have been a little bit more direct and toward
and
the outside.
outside. And outside.
I
Yeah.
think it to the outside would have been a little better. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should have been harder.
but we, I mean, but we now we
Right.
we kind of nitpicking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what we saw.
Yeah, it's what we saw, but I mean, the pass should have been caught.
Right.
If it was like way short or way over the head or something, okay. But when a ball hits you in your numbers, dog, you gotta catch that.
Yeah.
If you were Mike Evans,
but Baker was inaccurate the beginning of that game, and it cost us.
I explained it. I literally explained it before y'all got on.
Devin Tompkins' throw should have been a
in
touchdown.
the pocket, man. It's like Dave Canales took the bootlegs and waggles and the rollouts out the playbook and said, you know what, Baker, well, this is what you got to work with, and he just looked lost.
Yeah, and he was inaccurate. He missed. I mean, Devin Tompkins, that should have been a touchdown. That was 15, a touchdown.
Dog, the Bucs had 99 yards before that last drive.
Yep.
Think about that for a second.
Because
Today's
when
NFL, in
your
today's
offense
NFL,
can't do nothing
in
because you
today's
can't
NFL,
protect.
in
There's
today's
no
NFL,
protection.
if you have 99 yards in the fourth quarter, that's a major problem.
You know what's bothering me, Bucko? I've been on like Buccaneers websites and stuff like that, and I'm seeing the comments. All these comments is okay. I'm not sold on Rashad White either, but come on, man. I don't think you can't put Bo Jackson behind that line and get 50 yards. They cannot block. They be getting man. Did you watch how they manhandled that O line?
Interior in particular.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Hainsey too light in the ass. He gets
yeah.
ragdolled. Cody Mott, they talk about how mean he is. I don't care how mean you are. If you ain't physical enough to handle that man across from you, all that means nothing.
And I think
What's up with
You're a
Matt
toothless
Fryer? Matt
lion,
Freer. What's up with Matt
literally.
Freer? What's going on with Matt Freer? Fryer, whatever his name is.
he's showing us why he was a freak, why he was on the market. I
Yep,
mean, he.
yep.
Here's my thing too, man. And Bucko's been talking about this all off season, man. I get it. We won a Super Bowl. But there should have been more flexibility in the cap situation. I think we were, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, with the veteran depth or lack of depth, with the veteran stars that we had on this team mixed in with a little youth, I really think we would be a prime team for a trade that will bolster either the interior line or the defensive backfield.
Y'all
But
gonna think y'all gonna
but
think I'm hating when I'm saying this, but
we
Josh,
really,
can
Josh H.
we
Brady
can because
screwed us.
we don't have any cap room to do it.
Brady's you think that 35 million is hurting him? He could at least been like, okay, I'm done, y'all.
Yeah, but you know that's not how
Let
it
me
go.
split this
Yeah,
between a couple years, leave
you know
y'all a little
that's not how it
calorie
go.
sat
Yeah, that.
so y'all can make some
But
moves.
Russell Gage is hurting because he's not on the field. Brady
That
contract is hurting.
that too.
It, the extensions that we're gonna have to do. But like look at a team like Denver. There's players that's good on that roster, like a Garrett Bowles will be a prime. He'll be a prime trade candidate. Even I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it'd be tough to do. But even players like Patrick Surtain, that team is about to be in total rebuild. That franchise is about to. He ain't gonna make that much of a difference. The
I
G,
don't I don't want to keep getting these mercenaries.
no.
Draft right.
But he's
Just
so young.
draft right.
Josh
He's
H.
so young. He
What's your
wouldn't
take?
be a mercenary.
Josh H. What is your take on what did you see last night? Did the one of my favorite hashtags is hashtag what did your eyes tell you? What did your eyes tell you last night? Where the Bucks at right now?
I was just pretty disappointed overall. I mean, I thought we actually matched up pretty well against the Eagles a little bit, because big reason why they're 2-0 is because of their running game, and I was like, all right, we matched up pretty well against the run. This game is in Tampa. We usually have done. I've seen flashes on offense throughout the first 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, maybe Baker's going to have a good game. It's kind of a primetime game. Maybe we should. And I was going to walk away satisfied if we were competitive, but we kind of just folded in that second half. Kind of looked pretty pathetic. Didn't look too prepared, and Rashad White ain't doing nothing. But also that's also the fault of the offensive line. So
Let me ask you this
What it
then.
is, bro.
Let me ask you this, Josh. Where in particular at
tackling's bad too.
what part of the game that you was like, God dang it, this is not gonna go well? What part of the game? When did you realize that this game was like, okay, you know what? Let's just get healthy.
We're just not moving the ball. We would just rip through first and second down, not move anywhere. It seems like we had a million third downs that game. It's like, here we go, third down again. Here we go, third down. And we kept. It seems like Todd Bowles is trying to force the run. Well, the OC is trying to force the run, and it just isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a big problem with the offense if we have no running game. Looks like we have no running game right now.
As of right now, we're 27th, 78 yards a game. So very similar to last year. And I spoke about this before y'all got on. To me, the Bucks, as of right now, they look similar to last year.
And I don't
Yeah, struggle in the trenches.
I never put any stock into week one because week one is always fluky.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have week two against the worst team in football.
Yep, the worst team in football.
So now we have a real team, and it's like, all right, we're 2-0 because we're supposed to be. And here's a real team. We're at home. We should match up a little bit well because the Eagles weren't looking like world beaters in those first two games.
Right.
That we beat the
They didn't
Vikings.
look like world beaters last night.
Yeah, and it's like we both played the Vikings, and we both had similar. So it's just to see us look as flat as we did. It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
That's the word. They look flat.
what's crazy is the Bucks were 5 for 10 on third downs. I think a couple of those third downs was on that last drive. So prior to that last drive, the Bucks were 99 yards going into that drive. So they were terrible the whole game, and it took a prevent defense from the Eagles for the Bucks to look somewhat, serviceable. 27 first downs. The Eagles had 27 first downs. The Bucks had 12.
12, and some of our first downs were through penalties.
Yep. Thank you.
It's just not moving the ball. It's like we get the ball. Everyone in the entire stadium knows Todd Bowles is going to want to run the ball on first down for some reason.
Oh, that's terrible.
And it's so frustrating. We run the ball. We either lose a yard or we get maybe 2 tops.
I wouldn't mind a run on first down if you run it to the stronger side of your O line. But when you're running it right up the middle and into Luke Gedeke and Cody Mott,
we have the weapons to run the West Coast. It's just no one on the team has the balls to start calling those plays.
Well, here's the problem, Josh, and I can agree with that too but here's the issue with running the West Coast offense. We don't have those type of receivers. We don't have a West Coast receiver.
Why not?
Mike Evans is not built for a West Coast offense. That's why he's going to look awkward if you even put him in that type of offense, which requires a receiver to have some separation. You can't have a West Coast offense and have receivers that can't separate and get yak.
We got 2 of them.
There's different versions of the West Coast offense, and I get it. There's different versions of it, but if just the baseline of West Coast, the main philosophy of West Coast, those receivers got to be good acceleration and very quick.
We got 2 of them.
Remember the San Francisco George Seifert, Bill Walsh offense. That's Bill Walsh basically. Look at those receivers. Jerry Rice was great route runner. Evans is not known to be a superior route runner. Godwin, he's really good at route running, but
Evans just good at getting the ball. Yeah.
Right. Evans is a 50-50 guy. Because he's not good. I mean, the history shows it, the numbers show it. Advanced analytics and regular stats show, or analytics show that he's not good at separating. He's not good at yak.
Either way, the run pass ain't working.
But it's not going to work.
Look, it can work if you play your personnel. What do you got? Why do you got 2 fast speedsters on your team and you're not using them?
I want to see more Trey Palmer.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Trey Palmer is a legit 4-3. Legit.
And
don't say we don't have the players. We're just not utilizing them.
I understand the offensive line ain't the best right now, but I just see a lot of hesitation.
They're the worst.
Rashad White, a lot of hesitation.
You tend to be more hesitant when you don't have faith in your O line. When you keep running to the same side or right up the middle, and that's where our weakness is. I get it. I really do. I get it, and I'm not taking up for Rashard. I'm just saying, this. What are we doing? Why? Why? Hashtag why? Why are you running it right up behind? Man, when you watch the 2 lines break huddle and you know how they get ready to face off, man, Robert Hainsey looks so little out there.
Now, Jalen Carter was
ragdolling when we're running the ball.
Ragdolling him, man. They was getting ragdolled out there.
There's no sense in even watching the play on first down if we run it. It's just you can just chalk that play up. It's done.
Run it to worse. Why don't they? I want to see how many times they run it to the left side.
I want to bring this up. I know Josh brought up the Tampa Bay's rush defense that was going to match up well. Interesting. I think these are updated stats. And then you look at the tape, right? And it's really that game last night that kind of like makes it look like, whoa, the opponents run the ball against the Bucs 38% of the time. That's 9th in the NFL. Opponents rushing yards per carry is 4.2. That's 17th in the NFL. Opponents rushers per game against the Bucs defense is 24 rushes a game, which is 8th in the NFL. Opponents' rushing yards per game against the Bucks is 103, which is skewed because of last night, but it's the 12th in the NFL. So they're giving up 100 yards a game rush defense. Now, here's the concern. Now, playing the Bears and the Vikings, who running game are terrible. It didn't really tell us anything. But last night told you a lot more than those two games. It literally did. So there's some teams that we're going to be playing on this schedule that can run the ball. Those are the games you really want to look at because the Vikings and the Bears game, our run defense, that really didn't tell us anything. It didn't tell us anything because both of those teams are terrible running the ball. Alexander Madison, come on.
But
man.
do you think? But do you think that that's the scouting report on us? No matter who it is, because it's like teams are like, okay, well, we probably can't run the ball right at this moment, but the offense can't sustain drive, so the defense is going to eventually wear down, and we'll eventually start getting 4 or 5, then big chunks, 2, 3, 4, 5, then big chunks. That's what they did to us last night. They just blundered us, and to the point where, eventually the defense just wore down. They were tired.
That defense is on the field too long, man.
Like that last drive, they literally had the ball about 8-9 minutes.
We just got outplayed start to finish. I mean, they had better clock management. They were running the ball. They were moving the
38 minutes. They had the ball for 38 minutes.
They control the time.
They literally ate that fourth quarter up like lunch.
They did.
It was like 9 minutes left when we gave them the ball back after we scored, and they ate every inch of that clock. They walked off with the 9 minutes on the clock.
That's like playing a keep away, right? It's like they're not really trying, like they're not really trying to score. They just kind of like, we're just gonna.
We just gonna bully foot you up front and stop us.
And then we got.
And then when y'all do stop us and get like 4th and 1, now we're gonna run the rugby play, and you can't stop that either. So we're just gonna keep blundering y'all up front because y'all so weak up front.
They were 2 for 3 on 4th down, by the way. 2 for 3.
Wow.
Okay. Buckle, let me ask you something. Where are those tackles that the Eagles got? Where did they draft them from?
Well, Lane Johnson came from Oregon.
Okay.
And landed the 68 he came from West. It was a West Coast team. He was one of the 6'8", like 360. Like he kind of one of those outliers. That came from a small school.
There's always like one out there. Yeah,
Jordan Mata. He came from. Let me see.
Where's that tight end from? I want to know. Where's that tight end from?
Hold on a second.
Because he was whooping Joe Tryon's ass last night.
Dallas Goedert or the other one?
The other one that was pancaking him.
But that was that guy, Steels.
Man, he must have pancaked JTS like 2 or 3 times, man.
I am highly disappointed.
Totally washed him out.
He can't finish, man. He got the speed, but he can't finish from the line to get the quarterback.
Jordan Mata, he's from Australia, so he's rare. He's a rare that he made it this far and that good. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles scouting department, great job. You know what I'm saying?
JTS should only be playing on 3rd downs.
Yeah,
it should be Yaya starting. Yaya should be playing the 1st, 2nd down, and JTS should come in for like the pass rush because he cannot run. He can't seal the edge. He can't. I watched a tight end went 1-on-1 with him and ragdolled him to the ground.
I'm very disappointed in Joe Tryon.
I'm not.
Yep, I've been waiting for that big game for a while.
I don't think that's what he is. I just think he's a good rotational player that you can put in maybe with some speed, but like a 4th down outside linebacker, he's not that. We draft a lot of not that players.
We got some more guys in there. Let me ask these other guys so we can get them involved. Jonathan, I see you in there. Zoe, Sheldon, Mr. West. I see y'all gonna literally come in the locker room and just be quiet. You can't let Sal.
Wake up, Mr. West.
Yeah, I mean,
don't be scared of Sal. Don't be scared of Sal, man. Don't be scared.
Oh no.
I was at the
bite.
Hey,
Now,
I'm driving home. I'm driving home from practice right now in this storm, so I'm just,
Oh, be careful.
I want to speak my piece too, man. But I was listening to y'all boys go, so
yeah,
No, speak
I'm
on,
ready
bro.
whenever.
yeah. I was at the game live, man, and
Oh,
yeah, I was actually at the game live. I missed probably like the first or second drive, but from the looks of it, man, they just look scared out there. And
They did.
see on like TV and live, like the holes close really quick in the run game. And they went from like what Josh said too, bro. Like it just we're not like having like consecutive drives when it comes to that or explosive plays. Even with the play with the where Baker Mayfield could have ran that first down, but he threw it at double coverage to Mike Evans. He could have ran that.
Triple.
But also we're not even utilizing freaking Palmer. Like where is the explosive plays when it comes to that part? And then the second and what was it like the second down for the end zone? That was like the most idiotic play ever. I don't know. I would have done a QB sneak before I do a 5-yard end zone. Like, come on now. So it,
Yeah, for me, it's basically that we're not
I
keeping
think the
them
bright
guessing.
light scared.
He wasn't keeping them guessing, man. He wasn't keeping the defense guessing. He run up the middle each time he run the ball. There's there's no outside zone run plays. There's I mean barely any screen plays that kind of get them to come up. Uh, I mean when we're with our linemen, they are getting stuff like soon as they're standing straight up. As soon as they get off the ball, they're standing
Sounds
straight
like
up.
last year's team.
So it's no movement for the run game. So if I'm a running back, I'm a little hesitant to pick. I'm trying to pick and see which hole I can go into. Because it seems like we're running a zone scheme.
No,
Um,
just dive.
but also with Baker, man, he was a little timid as well. I mean, he had some plays where he could have just shoveled the ball to our tight end and got the ball off a little early or pump and then just take off with it. So I think I don't think that the coaching had us prepared for this game, honestly. If I'm being real with you. So it just I think the big light scared the boys a lot. Defensive wise, I think we were, it was just I seen a play where we stacked to one side because they didn't have a receiver on the other side, or they had a receiver close to, like as in a like an inside tight end, but he was a wide receiver on the other side. So we had our whole defense stacked to one side, and they just ran it to the opposite way. As a coach myself, as a head coach, I see that, and I'm pissed off at my DC. We should not be one sided on a play where they can just easily go the opposite way. It's too much chasing. I don't like the chase.
Yeah, my thing is this. Like, I was encouraged by what I seen because usually on primetime games it's 40-3 by the fourth quarter. There was no quitting the guys.
It was.
D Delaney came out and had that pick. Unfortunately, it was at the 1 yard line. So I mean, everybody was expecting the safety right there. I was encouraged by that, but the
Stupid.
thing, the thing that really the point that I knew that we were going to lose that game is when Devin White got the pick. I'm like, yeah, there we go. And then on the next drive, it's like 30, 40 seconds left to go in the half. We haven't done anything on offense, but still they're trying to get the ball downfield instead of just going into the half down 7 against a great team. So once they got up 2 scores, I knew it was over at that point going into halftime because as a team, we got to play
Bless you.
the roster and the way the team is designed and the way the defense is meant to play aggressive. You have to play with a lead. And that's one thing that I was encouraged. I listened to the press conference. Baker Mayfield said, we have to start faster. So as long as the team is cognizant of that, like, hey, we got to get on the board. We got to strike first. Like,
But
especially against
bro,
teams.
Brady was saying that last year. They keep saying it, but they're doing it.
I mean, we had a shot. Mike Evans dropped the ball in the end zone, so that's an encouraging sign. At
But
least
that. But what quarter was that in? The second?
it just didn't happen. When you play a team like the Eagles, you have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Week 3 of the season with a new offense, a new quarterback, you're not going to be perfect week 3. So
I get that.
every one of us knew we were going to lose this game. So I'm looking at the encouraging signs of like, yo, they didn't get all the way blown out. You know what I'm saying?
One thing about what you said though, we was down. We were only had 3 points at the like when the fourth quarter started.
Yeah,
It was
22,
looking the same. It was looking the same.
but it felt
Monday night games under the lights. We just don't show up.
Yeah, that first touchdown they got was so, like, it was inches away from Dean knocking that away.
Bro,
It's
he
a
was in the
whole
pocket
different
too
game
long.
at that point.
Bro, he was in the pocket for like 15 seconds. And then
Yeah,
he could have made lunch back there.
Great Gaines had just got there. It was just by inches we lost this game.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree.
The score says 2 scores.
I'm gonna have to agree with the encouraging part. I think there's a lot to take away from this. For the most part, we were pretty banged up. Not gonna lie. And then, I mean, if you think about our starters versus their starters, you would give them the edge. But just imagine our secondaries and our third starters. You know what I mean? They'll definitely get blown out. So that didn't help at all, especially in our secondary. And then, but I think it's still encouraging. I think there's a lot to take away from this. I don't know. D. Delaney was getting beat, except for that one interception. He was getting mauled by
They
AJ
all was
Brown
getting whooped back
and the
there.
other kid too, Pitts. So
Yeah, I
They
don't know
playing them guys literally like 7 to 10 yards off the receiver.
And every time what's AJ Brown? It was a simple stop route.
Simple
stop
They was like he playing off you so far. Let me just run 6, 7 yards, turn around. He gonna miss the tackle, and I'm gonna get 15 out of it.
Yeah, I feel like Todd Bowles mismanaged that game. He should have sold out to stop the run. But it's hard to do that when you're playing from behind.
And that's another thing. That's another thing, fellas. Like the blitzing, we're blitzing our safeties. We're leaving a one high safety back there with a blitzing safety. We're not helping our back end at all. He's expecting them to just get there, and it's not happening. So you cannot keep blitzing the safety. You have to blitz either a middle linebacker and have your side linebackers cover, or you have to get out of that formation altogether and just and have your line just do what they can to survive while you're guarding your guys. But
that's another thing too. Like those just barely missed opportunities that we couldn't execute on. I think that was a big one too. Like we're so close on getting some sacks, and then Jalen Hurts was able to throw it up there. We're so close to getting one interception that I think Jamel Dean could have actually caught, but he misjudged that one, and that was towards the end zone. So it's just those little subtle things that we could have just took advantage of, and I think that could have been a momentum switch too.
Plays. Good teams make those plays.
I don't know if I blame too much on coaching. I think they may have actually had the right plan. It's just that the execution wasn't there. I would have to say the offensive line really, really let us down, though. They was, I don't know. I guess defense.
Dragged,
the Eagles defense got a really good defensive line, but our offensive line was getting bulldogged.
The thing about back to the point y'all made about the safety being too close up to the line and blitzing, I don't think that was a bad idea. If you ain't playing your corners so far off of the, are you that afraid of them getting burnt? You're not going to have that much time to let them get that much separation anyway, because the blitz is coming. Why are you playing them 7 to 10 yards off of wide receivers?
Right.
You helping the offense out.
That's one of the other things I was talking about too is why are we paying Jamel Dean and Carlton? Because they're both injury prone, probably missed 3 to 4 games, just one of them. And they're not even top
Dean
in there.
Goes out every game. Every other game, Dean goes out for at least a few plays or something.
And they're not even top in their respective positions.
Yeah. No, I realize why they get paid though. On one of those stop routes where AJ Brown caught it, he shook off D. Delaney so fast and ran for an extra 15 yards. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's what they were
okay,
doing. They
no,
played that man too far off of him.
no,
You're
I'm just saying.
giving it to him.
I'm just far as saying like why Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis get paid is because they make tackles. They make
Well,
tackles in the open,
I got
and
something
Dean
real quick.
came in and got his ass.
I don't like how we play our corners that far off of wide receivers. It's just, what are you paying? You pay them to be able to lock down.
Yeah,
Well,
but
You
they're
see,
banged up, man. One's got a
you
toe
pay them
surgery,
this
the other one
money and
got
then
his
you
shoulder
treat them
surgery.
like you
I won't.
treating them like they're rookies. They should be able to play up closer on wide receivers. I was watching a few plays last night. I was like, man, well, hell, it's 10. He's 10 yards off the wide receiver. He's gonna make the catch, and
He might
they're gonna get it. It's
DB
just
might
Right.
that
well be
simple.
on the sideline.
I got a question. When did
So
Jamel Dean get out?
he got out
Like
like in the
around
late
I think it
halftime.
was
third
second
quarter,
quarter, right? Second,
Yeah,
third.
he
He
second
made
come
quarter.
back after
Right after
halftime.
that,
y'all. Third quarter.
that's when they was really throwing the ball, running the ball.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm
Jamel ain't really
saying.
been Jamel ain't really been good this season. He ain't did nothing.
Yeah, like no, like my whole thing is like the past like couple seasons, Jamel Dean and like Carlton like really like aren't world beaters like that.
No, he balled out
And
last year. No, not
yeah, I mean,
Jamel
yeah,
balled
but
out last year.
like we don't
He's
have like
not
an
balling out
established
this
like
year.
top corner like most of these teams do. Like most teams don't look at our corners and be like, oh, like we need to play like away from them or whatnot. That's the problem. Like our secondary doesn't scare anyone aside from Antoine.
Yeah, and Jamel Dean should have had an interception. It was 9 seconds left before halftime. Jalen Hurts threw a dumb pass down the field. And
They're
it
not
just
intercepting no balls.
Yeah, he misjudged that
went,
one. He actually had two of them.
They don't have no hands.
Not the touchdown, yeah, but the one like before they kicked the field goal. I'm like, golly, intercept that ball.
Yeah.
When if they, how many times have you seen Jamel Dean make a good? That one play last year when he jumped in front of the receiver in the end zone and made that, but he don't make no. He ain't got hands, and neither does Carlton.
Both got brick hands.
Got hands.
They both got hands of stone.
But Carlton Davis, he's mostly known for like passing, like deflecting the ball. I don't think he's known for
Yeah,
passing.
they get up close and play physical.
Corners. They are solid corners.
They are.
You're not gonna find a better duo. Like, it's gonna be rare. Like a lot of teams would love to have those two guys.
But
they would use them right.
I was gonna say, but I think he's the guy I've been looking at lately. He's really good, in my opinion. He makes good tackles. That's the one I like the most out of our corners right now.
Before the season started, he was the best corner on the roster.
Yep.
He was. But they've been breaking it down. They've been calling him out like on certain on certain podcasts and stuff. They've been like, "Hey man, Jamel Dean ain't really been that dude this year.
No,
he's given up a lot of plays."
To me, though, it's the Buccaneers team. The way the team is built, it's like when they lose, yeah, you could point out individual player. He's not doing this or he's not doing that. But the formula for this team to win, it's got to be a team win. Like,
right.
We don't have the individual. Like we have to score.
I think they want to be physical, but they don't treat the players as if they're. Why if Jamel and Carlton are these 6'2", 6'3", big, rangy, physical corners, why aren't they playing up on the ball? Why are they playing so far off the wide receiver?
They actually 6'1". They ain't 6'2".
Well,
Jamel Dean,
you got to understand how the Eagles can attack you though too. It's like, do you want to die fast or do you want to die slow? So
I would take my chances on putting somebody on AJ Brown, getting physical with him, and put a safety over the top.
Yes.
I agree.
That's easy to say, but at this, because I agree with you. I would have loaded up on the run, tied him up, but you know what I'm saying? Like at the same time, like AJ Brown is a big, physical, fast receiver. So
that's why you put the safety over the top of him instead of the other guy.
Hold on. Let me read this super chat. I was waiting for one of y'all to read it, but Nobody want to read it, so I guess I read it.
My bad. I ain't paying attention.
That's why I ain't saying that for a while.
My bad.
Adam Shaver, shout out to you, $10 super chat. We have a bunch of JV players on offense.
Exactly.
These the WTH colleges. With our defense banged up, we are going to go on a slide. I am looking forward to having a top 10 pick next year's draft.
Negative.
But
I don't think so.
I got
you pick it in the middle of the pack somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey,
like,
I gotta.
Oh,
wait, hold on. I gotta. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say something real quick. So I think where our players is hurt right now, that's cool. But if they get like healthier, like during the season, think we'll like able to win more games. That's a question for everybody. If they get healthier.
I would be concerned if the receivers are injured. That's the strength of the team, or the linebackers are injured. Like that's the strength of the team.
Wait, speaking of the injury line, I want to say this. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but I saw it because I was at the game. Did y'all see Devin White lining like on the top? Because he was lining out up at the top at a couple plays, and I'm like, I don't know why he's there to get a.
They was motioning the inside guy out, and they kept putting him on the outside. They was trying to burn him deep.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing because they knew he had it. Because the smart coach knows he has a hamstring right now.
Groin.
Groin. You know, so he can't run. Let's put that to the test. That's what competent coaches do. Our coaches, our OC was not playing competent football last night. I don't know what he was thinking. I think, man, was he scared of the guy because the guy know him or something? Because he was like really playing conservative. I didn't see the best creative play he did last night was the little screenplay to Otten, and he dropped it.
I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of them players were dropping balls. And Mike Evans dropped about 3 of them.
Yeah,
man, it was drop balls out there for real. They were scared.
Like, wow.
They were scared. They were fidgety.
And it was open too. Open passes.
If he would have caught that screen pass, man, that was 30, 40-yard run.
It was
That's 30, 40 yards. He took off before the ball got there. I'm with you, Bucko. I'm really getting critical about Jason Light's selections, man.
I've always been like that.
All
man.
of them. I'm talking about all of them except for Whitfield and Worse. That's it.
He tries too hard to be strategic. That's all it is. Like, I pick two, just like pick the obvious players. I don't know why he tried to pick these like small schools. I think we all know that too, man. Like, come on.
He's trying to be the smartest man in the room, and he's not. Man, stop it! I said this last year. Quit drafting these guys from these little ass schools, man.
It makes
they there for a reason.
Pick the obvious player.
Hell,
He's trying to find a hidden gem, man. It ain't working.
It's not.
Man,
it's not working.
Stop it, man. Somebody write that man a letter, man.
Picking dudes from Atlantic University.
Man, come on, man. And going up against Georgia Bulldogs, getting mauled by pit bulls and rocks. We out there with poodles.
Bro,
talking about potential.
Doing this, man.
Talking about potential. It's just that simple, man. We are still trying to make up for them 2 bad draft classes, and nobody wants to admit that those were throwaway drafts.
Hey, at least we lose 70-20.
Logan Hall, all these potential could be, possibly, maybe. They get while everybody else is drafting plug and play players. Oh, he going? Okay, we got somebody for him. Boom, he in. He producing like nothing fell off.
But I hear everything you said though. But what I hope the Bucs start doing from here on out is start realizing they depth. Just draft guys from the depth and make sure they upbeat players. Because that's what the Eagles been doing all these times.
Look at the players we let slide to other teams in this this past draft last 2 years, and they out there making plays on us last night. We literally watched players that we passed on make plays on us last night, while the players that we drafted were invisible. Invisible. No Shaq. I didn't see no JTS, no Shaq, no Vita, no Logan Hall, no Nobody.
Did we even get a sack last night?
I don't know,
I
man.
don't think we did. I don't think we did.
I ain't see none of that. We were being hyperbolic when we was talking about I want to see nothing but draft in the trenches. That's all I want to see for the next 2 years.
Thank you.
Just draft
Same.
in the trenches, man.
But even when we do
Your
get
O-line, D-line.
in the six, we still be
O-line, D-line. I don't care if it's. I don't care where you draft that, just long as it's on that line.
And DB.
O-line or D-line. Because y'all can talk about how many we need to look for a certain running back that maybe get Dalvin Cook. No, nobody can run behind this line. Simple as that.
And Bogo's been saying it for years, bro. Years. And I've been with him ever since.
offensive
The
line.
line is horrible.
Or at least get a mobile quarterback, man. If the offensive line that bad, at least get a quarterback that can move, man. They
you.
all right.
Man, they were doing they were closing off the edges. They got to the point where they wasn't gonna let Baker out of the pocket. You can't, you're too short. You can't see over nobody.
Yeah, them
We're gonna keep you in the pocket.
But that's why they need to have Trey Palmer more in the plays, man. If they say Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out, man, they can have Trey Palmer because I like him, man. That's how.
Come on, man.
Is Palmer injured, or are they just not like plugging him
No,
in?
he got one catch last night, right after the first drive of the second half. I just said in the live chat, why ain't they throwing the Palmer? They threw him one pass last night.
They need to get that man
I said
more
the same
involved.
thing too.
One pass. Why are you drafting this youth and speed and you don't want to use it?
Bro, cheat. Yo, Kansas City will make him look like a beast.
Thanks, man.
Man, this dude literally been making crazy acrobatic catches. Oh my God, scoring touchdowns all summer, and then y'all don't want to use him?
That makes no sense.
And he's legit 4-3, man.
Fastest dude.
Shout out to Adam Shavers again with a $10 chat. Devin White groin injury, Vita Vea pec injury, Carl Davis toe injury, Jamel Dean with a shoulder injury. These injuries will last all season. Top 10 pick guarantee.
It ain't too far off.
It ain't too far off. Sure.
Yeah, I would say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this last few. We're gonna wrap it up. Look, the Bucs last night kind of gave you an insight on the Bucs cannot afford injuries at major positions with major players. We can't make up for that. So what Adam Shavers is saying that these injuries, if they linger on, they become much worse, or they aggravate it to the point where they have to sit out games. We can't make up for that. We don't have the roster for that. We don't have the roster to make up for these injuries at key positions. These players that he's naming, these are big players for our defense. And I said this last night, and even before this game, before the game last night, I want to see the Bucs play well, and also, most importantly, come out of this game healthy. Neither didn't happen.
None of that happened.
Neither did it happen. So that's a cause of concern. Please pay attention to that moving forward. These injuries that he just put up, please don't disregard the very end of it, but the injuries in particular, please pay attention to those injuries as we move forward these next 5 to 6 weeks. Because remember, and I said this last night, including last night games, these next 6 to 8 games, you're gonna literally open your eyes. It's gonna open your eyes up big time. It's going to open your eyes up. Go look at the schedule. The next 5 to 6 games.
It's true.
It's gonna open your eyes up. You're gonna be like, oh boy, this can turn out pretty bad.
Maybe it's good that we got an early buy.
That's what I'm saying.
We need to get healthy.
If the Bucs, what you don't want to see next week is, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but what you don't want to see next week is lingering issues from last night's game going into next game.
The next game with the Saints, ain't it?
That's a tough game. I'll be at the game personally. I'll be at the game myself.
I ain't too impressed with them, man.
You don't want to see those issues on the road.
Sure.
We already know. You already know going on the road for any NFL team is tough, right? We know this, right? Unless you're playing unless you're playing the Broncos or the Bears.
Unless you're the Bucs. We seem to play better when we on the road. We come home and lay eggs.
But I just want I'm glad Adam put that out with those injuries, and we know the Bucs' history when it comes to injuries. They do linger on. For whatever reason, our strength and conditioning staff, these injuries linger on throughout the season. And I got a feeling this is going to happen to a couple of guys. They're not saying they're going to have major injuries, but cross my fingers, but these injuries are nitpicky injuries. Like they just don't go away. They just
Facts.
don't go
True.
away, and it's annoying.
We got a first round pick that didn't played about 2 minutes
You know,
in
so
3 games.
so at the end of the day, fellas, the game from last night, not a lot of positive. There's a couple things here and there, but there's more disappointing. There's more disappointment in this game because you wanted to see, and as Bucks fans, I think 100, I would say 98% of us wanted to see the Bucks perform well, win or lose. We wanted to see
Right.
a
Mhm.
good performance.
I
Yeah.
want to see them. I
That's
want to see them
all.
improve.
And we
Just
didn't get
improve
that.
each game.
Pete.
You know, we didn't get that, and that's disappointing for me because I remember, y'all know me. I put stock in. I put stock in certain games, and I put a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
stock in this game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
What
Like,
one thing else you said last night, Bucko, about the crowd, about how they letting all. Somebody told me that the percentage wise was 60-40 Eagles
No,
fans in that stadium.
it was, bro. I was there. It was so much Eagle fans. It makes no sense. And there
They
was
said it
chanting.
was 60% was Eagles fan.
That's why it was yelling so crowd when the Eagles was
Let's
scoring because
go Eagles! When I heard that, man, I then there threw my remote at the TV.
It was
you know,
bad.
also
I heard it too. I
That
turned
was the
channel.
most embarrassing part of the whole night.
I gotta say this too. When the game was over with, you know, well, it wasn't quite over with, but officially over. But Mike Evans just literally walked
Crowded
off
and
the
ran off
field.
with his ball.
Like, come on, Mike, don't draw attention like that. I know you frustrated and you want your contract, but you just can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You just can't storm off the field like a little kid. You can't do that. You better than that, Mike. And I gotta say that. And I was very, very disappointed in that. He better than that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know. I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on with him right now, bro. He's
Well,
doing a lot of pouting. He's
it's
doing
clear
a
to see
lot of
what's going
pouting.
on. It's clear to see what's going on with it. You can tell.
And that
You
ain't
can tell
good.
his demeanor. His demeanor. It shows you he wants to get paid.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know, catching a touchdown, throwing the ball in the stands, and running off the field. Like, what's the issue, man? Like, come on, man. Like, don't be a Sour Patch Kid, man. Don't be Debbie Downer.
He getting the ball. He getting most of the looks. He should be happy right now.
Good God,
You ain't
Mike
lying.
Evans,
He getting all the looks.
it's annoying to me, man. I don't want him to become annoying. You know, he's been with the Bucks all this time. Do not become that guy.
He been the model player, and now
Right.
he didn't transform into Devin White. And
Now he
Devin White
transformed
saying
Tom
all the
Brady.
right stuff. Now Devin White saying all the right stuff, and he I don't know. This team is so topsy turvy.
It's one of
And folks, and this to you guys, the guys in the chat room, and ladies, and anybody in the chat room, please pay attention. You know, do not look. It's okay to be optimistic, right? When it comes to the Bucks team, but you got to see the team for what it is. You know, being optimistic, we all want the Bucks to do good, but also add some reality to that. Like, look at the Bucks last night. Look at the reality perspective. We can do the couldas and wouldas and shouldas and what ifs. Dean should have caught this. Dean should have. Well, if we're gonna do that, which is fine. If we're gonna do that, let's do that for the other team too. We can't be one way and say, well, if we would have did this, we should have did that. What about if the Eagles would have played to where they should have played at? What about that part?
We
I'm
would
glad you
have been looking like the Giants week 1.
And that's the
Can I
crazy
say
thing.
something too, Bucks? Bucks,
Let's
can I say
not be
something real
totally
quick?
biased. Let's not be totally biased. I know. Look, we all Bucks fans, but let's not act like the other
Yeah.
team could have played
Ain't
better.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
I
like they
said that
ain't
too
really
last
that.
night because
They
the
really
Eagles.
that.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say the Eagles.
Eagles left a lot of points on the
put
board. They left a lot of points on the board. Let's be real.
Yeah.
they should have put Eagles should have put 30 points or more on the board. We lucky to get
We
25.
played the best two teams in the conference this year. Those are the standards. I don't care if we beat them. We just got to look like we can compete with them.
Right.
That's all. But if what's the sense of having all these changes and not utilize the changes you made? I want to see competent football. I ain't trying to see this reserve. Let's not try to make no. I would have rather Baker came out through 3 picks last night because that at least showed me he was trying to go downfield. I ain't see that last night. I seen a guy who didn't want to make a mistake last night and end up making one anyway.
And we gotta wash this off our skin. We gotta wash this out our brains. I know it's a good reference point about this game because it's a highlight game on our schedule. We gotta wash it. We gotta wash it clean. We gotta wash it off our skin. And
Yeah, we on to the Saints.
we
We
got
gonna beat
we
them,
on
man.
tomorrow.
So
We on to the Saints tomorrow. Y'all clear with that?
I
Y'all clear with
didn't
that?
see. I
Yep.
didn't see. They ain't showed me nothing impressive to me.
We on to the Saints tomorrow. So tomorrow, we can reference the game on Monday. I mean, last month we can reference the game last night. That's okay to go back and reference the game, but tomorrow on to the Saints. Let's talk about them Aints and how about that terrible O line tomorrow. Have y'all questions ready? Have y'all get ready to talk some noise because they gonna come at me. You know they coming at me.
Hey,
Oh yeah, we got you.
Bucko,
We got you, Bucko.
what's the what is their defense rank right now?
What was the Saints defense rank?
Yeah.
Let me
Are they?
let me pull this up real quick.
They really ain't that good. I don't think.
I don't think that team as a whole is that good. They're very gettable. We can get that
I'm saying the
game
same thing.
in New Orleans.
Their defense keep them in the game though.
Not the their Packers game.
I mean, let me pull it up. Fellas. I'm gonna clear it up for you. All right, so let's look at the rankings here as of right now.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's look at the rankings.
The rankings.
All right, so stats, team stats, total going. Well, I'll start with total defense. Opponents yards per game. Let's go there. So, the Saints defense is ranked total yards per game is 9th in the NFL, 288 yards a game. So overall, their defense is top 10. Bucks overall rank is 22nd in the NFL, giving up 359 yards a game. So the Saints, as of right now, have the better defense, I guess you could say. Which I get it. The numbers can kind of be skewed, but it's just what the numbers say. Yeah, so they top 10 defense, and I told y'all already know that the Saints. Look, I don't like the Saints, but I do give them credit for their defense.
Yeah.
I do give.
I respect.
I respect their defense. The defense, I don't like them, but I can't just be like they're terrible everywhere. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. That's not in my DNA. They say they're just terrible.
I think they're very gettable as far as like offensively because they ain't been moving the ball like that and scoring.
So rush defense. Let's go to rush defense. Yards per game. The Bucks are 12th in the NFL on rush defense, 103 yards a game. The Saints are 10th at 99 yards a game. So it's hard to run the ball on them. It's gonna be hard to run the ball on them too. It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. It's numbers. Don't get mad at me. The Bucks are not good. They are not a good running team. It sucks too, man. It really does. It sucks. The Bucks not good at running the ball. Pass defense, yards per game. I'm not going to go into the other stats, but just do yards per game. The Bucks are 24th in the NFL against the pass, 256 yards a game they're giving up. The Saints are 8th, only giving up 188 yards a game.
Oh shit!
Damn.
So if you thought the Eagles were tough,
this is gonna be another rough one.
It's another rough one, folks. I mean, it is what it is. Don't get mad at me.
What are they ranked like offensively?
Offensively, let's look at the offense. Total yards a game. Let's go. Let me see. Let me find that. Points per game.
I haven't seen big games, scoring games out of them either. Like even when they're like 19, 20
yards per game.
No, it should be like.
So the Bucks are 25th in the NFL at 284 yards a game. The Saints are what the hell are they at? 20th at 314.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, so
Yeah. It's gonna be a low scoring game.
Yeah, low scoring game. Yeah,
it might expect to be like 20 or something like.
That's I don't think neither team going over 20 points. I don't see it.
That's what I was saying.
Scoring offense. The Bucks are 19th at 19.3 a game. The Saints are 25th at 17 points a game.
Got a little edge on them.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be a high scoring game, folks. It's gonna be a rugged, tough, defensive driven game, and Who defense is gonna make the best plays? That's
And
what's
that
gonna
don't,
17,
Not only that,
14.
who gonna make the mistakes? Who gonna make the key
right. Who's
mistakes
gonna
in
make the
that game?
mistakes? Who's gonna make the mistakes?
Who's gonna be healthy?
I'm not gonna
That
lie.
too.
I'd rather have Carr back there than Winston.
So,
You said what?
I'd rather have Carr back there than Winston.
uh,
Well,
so
it look like we're gonna get
Carr
Carr
gonna be
anyway.
worse.
we'll talk. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We'll break it down. We'll go into the details, and that's gonna be a fun conversation. Now, I want the Saints fans to show up too. Don't run. Don't run, Saints fans. I'm gonna be at the game. Do not run from me. I am him. I am him.
Get him,
I am.
Bucko.
I
Dude.
am. I am no different on here than in person. I am not gonna switch up. That's not how I roll. It is what it is. I stand on 10 toes. I got 10 toes. I stand on them. I don't run for
Bucko's
no
talking the
smoke.
truth.
I
The
don't
truth.
run for no smoke. So Saints fans, bring it tomorrow. Go call TJ Jones and all your other little channels. Come on, tell them come through. Come through. You, Kimberly, and you, the rest of you do that for life. Go tell your little channels to come holler at me. Because for some reason they don't come on and bother me. They don't bother me. They know what it is. Respect though, but they don't really bother me. They know what time it is over here. They don't bother me though. No, if I got to come find them, I'll come find them.
Get him, Bucko. Get him.
I know where y'all at. But I don't want to do that. But anyway, let's wrap this up, gentlemen. Closing thoughts of the game last night.
Improvement. It's just improve, get better and healthier.
Yeah, coaching. We got to start scheming up our guys, our players. We got to know what we have. Know your personnel, man. That's basically it. You got to know what you got, so you can set them up, scheme them up right.
Open a playbook. Stop being conservative.
There you go.
There you go.
It's not the end of the world. It's week 3, y'all. But
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Got plenty of football. Plenty of football, man.
it's plenty of football. I just want to see some improvement week to week.
Yeah.
Same. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
All right, Finnels. Anybody else got anything else? Is that it? Everybody said
That's it, bro.
I got one more thing to say.
It's okay, folks. We're 2-1. It's okay. Relax. We had to get this out of our system. We got to talk about it. Good, bad, and ugly. It's okay.
Hey, we're not 0-3.
Right,
know
right.
Yeah, man. Ain't getting blown out neither.
With that being said, see y'all tomorrow. Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Hashtag. Check and bake. Check and bake. Hashtag check and bake. Hashtag why? Hashtag what are we doing?
Hashtag why?
Hashtag trenches matter. Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it.
Hashtag wait. I tell you.
Life after Brady. Hashtag. Oh, I forgot to do a walk in the plank today. I'll do it tomorrow. Hashtag got to walk the plank. Somebody walking the plank. Hashtag this can get ugly. These next 5-6 weeks, this can get ugly. Hashtag this can get ugly.
Hashtag where my dogs at?
Hashtag
damn.
Probability of a possibility. Is it possible that we can win out? Probability is low. Facts. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag Mike, straighten up. Seriously. For real. And I forget any other hashtags. I mean, I got a bunch of them, but my patent ones, But other than that, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's talk about these Saints or these Aints. I'm sorry, these Aints.
Right.
But I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, man. Peace out. Have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right, good talk, fellas.
Yeah.